Hello and good morning. Welcome back to part 2 of our rear fender of our 69 Charger. I just wanted to show you a few images I found online. This Google search was rear fender close-up or rear fender detail. So I want to break down a few of these images the same way we did with our front fender to better understand how we're going to model it. So let me go into Photoshop. Let me first of all kind of frame in on this image so you guys could screenshot this if you wanted to use it. Okay, and let's frame in on this for you. Okay, next image. If I'm going too fast, and you can always pause the screen. And the last one. Okay, so each one of these images are a little bit different than each other. So the first image here allows me to see the information like in this particular area, how it curves. Oops, wrong size brush. I don't know how it changed to that. Let me change the, oops. This brush does not want to act right. Okay. And let me just change the color so it's a little bit more visible. Okay. So when we get back here, we could see that obviously it curves in like so, and we are going to use this kind of like framework, and it actually flattens out right here. And it goes down like that. So we probably bring these vertices down. Maybe 2 edge loops to go around there. So we kind of left off right about here on our model, and you know, if we kind of draw that shape, let me go into Maya and see exactly how many edge loops we have on the back side here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and your number might be different than mine on the back side. So let's see, sorry, one more time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at that part of the fender. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I know I drew a few more edges, excuse me, in this area here. So just for the sake of keeping it consistent, probably have to go something like that. And I'll erase this. Now this is, you know, just my method. I don't ever really create cars, so This seems to work a lot easier for myself. I like this particular method, just drawing out what the geometry is going to look like on this shape before actually going into Maya and creating it. It really helps me to see what's going on. And I think, you know, we'll have to add a few more edge loops in here in Maya. And then you could see that this section is a little bit like it's higher, like it's raised off the surface. So let me hide this particular image. The back of the vehicle, you know, we'll probably use this image when we start to model, you know, tail lamps and the chrome accents. You could see that there is a space between the rear fender and the bumper itself. So we'll kind of worry about that later. Now there's a space between the chrome bumper and that rear quarter panel, right? So easiest way to create a curved corner is to add 3 edge loops. Sometimes you can add 4 depending on how much geometry you have. So I'll put 2 right there and like that. And when we press 3 inside of Maya, it will smooth out. Okay, so let's look at the other image that I have. Again, it's the same exact car as the previous one here. Well, different bumper license plate, but I think it's the same exact one. And we've got this really unique shape that we're going to do our very best to model, and it actually curves in like that. And let's see, 2 edge loops would be fine right there to get this nice curve. If we want this to be lower poly, then we'll just use 3. And 1, 2, 3, 1 there. And this bumper is going to be really easy. Just kind of put that, subdivide that here, there. Okay, and last but not least, let me pull up this one. So yeah, with this particular image, I wanted to show you the flare. Goes up like that. So we'll work all of those lines into our model. So the first image I really want to use is this particular one here, because I think it's close enough and we have a lot of information on this side. So with that being said, let me just go back into Maya one more time, and I have those 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I think like right here, there are those 3 lines that run like this. So 3. And then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, Okay. And I know that we'll probably need something like that, another edge loop right in here. So as I can, visually see from drawing these lines, I'll probably need to add another edge loop in here. Okay, but again, we're really not going to know until we jump into Maya. So I'm going to screenshot this, and you guys can do the same. I already have this image inside of Maya, however I just want the one that has these lines. Let's minimize that and jump right into Maya. Let me put that image on an image plane, the screenshot. So I go to View, Image Plane, Import Image. Go to my desktop, and that's the most recent image. Press R, scale it down, and now we're ready to rock and roll. Okay, so all of these images here, I'm just going to put it on rear bumper image plane. I put those all on a layer, and I'm going to use this one. Alright, so let's press E, I'll click here, hold shift, double click there, go to my side view, and Control E, bring it right about here. Now, common mistake, most people like to get to this point and then they forget about the top view, so I'm immediately going to my top view. I'm going to press R, scale it down, press 4, and it looks as though this one might be a little bit off. Move it over. Double click that. Oops. Let me highlight this whole edge. Hold Control to deselect these guys, and now I have this one again. Okay, so let's look at this image here. I am now at this section, right? And I guess the real question is, how do we get this section here? I'm going to look at it from the back view. So this is my front camera. I want to change this to back, so I simply hold shift, click on Maya, go to back view, and there we go. Okay. Alright, it's not looking too bad. Okay, let's go back into our perspective. Press 5. Okay, let me hide my channel box editor and my attribute editor, and alright, so to get this area I'm I have the help of this edge. Alright, and then that edge goes there. Let's try this again. This edge goes here, this edge goes there. This particular edge, I think I want to move it at that corner. This edge is going to go here. Now my concern is that corner and that corner, because let's erase that little section. I can take this edge and bring it right here. I don't want to use these three edges to do that, because I mean, it would help that shape. However, I'm going to lose this really beautiful line that continues to go all the way back to the edge of the car. So I think I'm simply going to add another edge loop coming straight through here. And then actually, I think I might need edge loops vertically. That would probably help if I had one more here and then a vertical one there. Alright, so let me just erase and try to give you the grandiose scheme one more time. The plan. Take this edge loop here, take this one, bring it there, extrude it again, so it'll look like that. 1, 2, 3, and then I'll add one more edge loop to get that shape. Okay, so let's do it. Zoom in, let's get rid of that. Let me take that vertex, excuse me, and I'll hold W, left mouse click, go to component, move it up like that. Kind of get this to curve a little bit as well. I'll select this guy, move it up like that, get this to curve, and get that nice edge flow. Okay, and you know what? I'm actually going to add an insert edge loop tool. Equal distance from edge. I'll change that to 1. And I'll put one right there. And then another one right here. I'll double click this guy. Edit edge flow. I'll double click this one. Edit edge flow. Again. And I'll take this one, press G. Okay. Now I can take this, this vertex, press W and move it right about there. I'll take this one, move it up. Right about here. And now I can take this edge, hold shift, double click, edit edge flow, click this edge, double click, edit edge flow, that guy, edit edge flow, and you know, I think I'm going to take these guys here, press W, I'll hold W, left mouse click on the world, I'll hold V and I'll snap it right there. So if you hold V and then drag it out and drag it straight down to that alignment. Okay. I'll take these guys, I'll press and hold J, and I'll snap it straight. Press W, I'll move it over, align right there. And I'll take this one, hold W, left mouse click and drag, go to component, move it up, drag it to the right, and I'll keep this in the center. All right. Let's just kind of get these edges to look a little nicer. And edge flow a little bit. Let's do that. Okay, I'll select these two, press W, I'll go back to world, and I'm going to hold V, snap it straight up. I'll take that vertex, go back to component and move it straight up, right there. Okay. All right, so happy with that. So that's the first shape here. All right, so we're kind of sticking to what we planned. The next shape that we're going to go after is that row right here, this edge loop that goes straight down and then it goes right there. So let's dive in, but before I do that, I always want to make sure that it looks good in my perspective as well. So let's double check that. Okay, and there we go. I'll simply highlight this whole entire row, hold Control to deselect those vertices and not add anything else to our selection. Go to our side view. I'll change this back to world by holding W, left mouse click and hold. Let's see here. I'll press Control E, or you can hold Shift and click on the axes there. Now at the bottom of the vehicle, it does start to curve. This edge right here does curve, which would be these two edges. So I'm going to address that individually. So I just kind of start from top to bottom. Let's go to our top view. Press R to make sure that everything is aligned. Scale that in a little bit. There we go. I'm always making sure that the previous edge looks nice. Okay. Go to vertex. I'll select this vertex and I'll press 4. Oops. Let's change that back to component. And I'll move this guy over here. I'll take this one. I'll move it right there, right on the line. Press 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 vertices. We're just going to delete those. I'll go to my vertices here. Press W. Hold W. Change it to world. Hold V. And then snap it right there. Okay. And now that I'll go back in my top view. Press, let's see, I'll highlight these guys, hold V and snap it here. So V as in Victor. Okay, so now here comes the fun part. So I'll select all of these vertices and I'll press R because I think it looks a little bit off, especially this edge. Scale it out a little bit. Press W and slide it over just a hair. Okay. So these two vertices are so much easier to round off the bottom part of the vehicle than using multiple edges. Okay, I want to fix this edge loop. I see it looks a little bit off. So if I hold shift, let's go to my side view. Hold shift, right mouse click and hold, edit edge flow. Not the most attractive looking edge. Let's select this and see what we can do. If we can kind of fix it up. There we go. Change that edge loop. Again, we can always take that vertex, move it over. Like this edge, change the edge flow there, that edge, change the edge flow. Okay, let's hold W, change the component, and that's looking pretty good. So now that we have this particular edge looking the way we want it to, I'm going to start to work on the bottom part of our geometry. So in this particular image, you can see that at this particular edge here, at this edge, it starts to, it curves obviously, and then it starts to curve around. So I'm going to make it curve 1, 2, 3, 4 times. All right. So let's like this. I'll press F. Okay. Now I'm going to use a little bit of a cheat here. So I'll go to Create, NURB Circle, and I'll create a circle. I'll hold V to snap it right here. And then I know that Maya likes to crash anytime that I change the components. So I'm going to save it now. So I go to File, let's just click Save. I'll go to my attribute editor because I know that I can actually change it here. Or better yet, let me go back into that circle object mode and let's see, cubic linear local. Okay, we're just going to go for it, guys. Hopefully mine doesn't crash on me. If I click here, and there you go. It crashed. I don't know why it likes to do that, but let's just open it back up. Thank God for my awareness and the crash log. So we'll give it a second. So Maya just crashed, and there's just awesome crash log here. I simply clicked on the file, the top one, and it opened up exactly where I left off. I made sure that I clicked on the inputs and it didn't crash on me this time around. First time it always does. So what I'm looking for is the sweep, and I'm gonna change that to 90 degrees. So what that allows me to have is this really nice looking circle. I'll press Control 1, or it's actually a quarter of a circle. It's 90 degrees. And I want to put this corner right here. So in my perspective view, I'll hold D, I'll click on that little square, I'll hold C and drag it there. Okay, I'll press Control 1, I'll hold V and snap it right there. Now my top image plane is stopping us from looking at this. So I'll press E, I'll hold J, and I'll rotate it 90 degrees. I'll press R, and I'm not for sure if my R is in world, so I'll press and hold R, left mouse click and hold, and change it to world. There we go. So I think I want to scale it down a little bit. I'm trying to get that perfect, it's not necessarily perfect, but I'm trying to get this curve. And when I extrude, I'm going to use that curve as my guide. So let me simply go to, yeah, this angle here. Okay. This edge of the curve should probably be about right there. Okay. If I go back to my perspective, sorry, I'll press F. That's the angle I'm hoping for. Let me go turn back on my top view. I'll press spacebar, look at it from my top view, and okay, so I have that like 90 degree angle, but it looks as though it's like too curved. Like especially right here, I want it to flatten out. So I'll right mouse click on that NURB circle. I'll go to Control Vertex, and I'll click on this guy. Press W. I'll hold V and snap it there. Click these guys. I'll hold V and bring it up and drag it to the right. And then I'll click on these four. I'll press R and I'll hold J to snap it. Right? Snap it flat. So this looks like the angle I want. Go to object mode. I'll turn my wireframe unshaded on. And let's go back into our side view. And it starts to curve right there. So let's take this edge, 1, 2. And I'll press Control E, I'll press W, I'll move it over like that. I'll press R to scale it flat like this. Press W, I'll hold D and V to snap it right here, okay? And then I'm going to, now I can't hold V and snap it to that curve, okay, because it's a NURBS. So I have to hold C and get it to follow along that, see? Just like that. Okay. So I know what you're saying. It's like it doesn't look good. I understand. Let's click on this curve. I'll press Control D to duplicate it. I'll hold V to snap it down there. And then I'm going to press R to scale it down like that. What I'm really looking for, and I'll isolate these two by pressing Control 1. You know what? Let's go to our top view and I'll press Control 1. I want this to be aligned with that one, like this shape here. Okay. If I hold Shift and then go to Control Vertex, I'll select these three. I'll move them to the right. I'll select these two. Actually, I'll just select that one here. I'll hold V and I'll move it up like that. Or you could simply select R and then like scale them together. Okay. So I have two curves that are perfect alignment. I'll click on this guy. I'll go to Vertex. I'll select this vertex. I'll hold C. And there we go. Okay. Now, object mode. Okay. And I'm going to go to Mesh Tools, Multi-Cut Option Box. And I'll turn on Edge Flow. I'll hold Control and Shift simultaneously. So Shift allows me to snap it. So I'll put one right there and one right there. And let's put one more right here in the middle. So starting off with this one here. Go to my top view and move it right there. Take this vertex and move it right there along that line. Select these three vertices. Take that one, move it along that line. I'll select 1, 2, 3 vertices. Select that one and move it along that line. Okay. Let's close this. Go into our perspective. And yeah, not too bad. I'll take this guy in the middle and I'll hold V, drag it down and drag it to the left so that it aligns with that guy. And then maybe just bring this in a little bit more 1, 2 vertices. I'll drag it down, and that curve feels better for me. Okay, so if I press 3, that's what we have there. I'll press 1. Now we don't have to go through all of that on the upper part here. Let's go to edge. I'll select this, hold shift, double click on that little guy. Now let's see our side view. Okay. Right. So what I'm going to do now is select all of these faces here. Okay, I'll select all of those faces. I'm going to go to the animation drop down, deform, lattice, and then I'm going to save it again. And let me hide my side view. Actually, I'm going to need the side view. If I right mouse click on this lattice and go to lattice point, I can select these guys and move them over like this. So it follows that shape. And voila. Now I'll select this geometry, edit, delete by type history, and then kind of move this guy over a little bit. Alright, so edge. I'll highlight all these edges. I'll hold control to deselect that. Hold shift and extrude it over. Go to my top view. I'll press R and press and scale it down a little bit. And that's looking pretty fresh. Side view, I press R. Now I know it has this like this funky flare right here. So let's hold D, bring this guy down here, and I'll hold V to snap it. I'll press R and I'll flare it up like that. Go to object mode. I'll click on my, let's go here, back to modeling, drop down menu. Click on the multi-cut option box, right? So mesh tools, multi-cut option box. And let's turn on the edge flow. I'll hold control and I'll do this. Press W, press 5, and you can see that little flare. I want to select that guy, move it down so that the edge aligns. Press 4, and that alignment looks pretty good for me. So this is what we get. The top of the vehicle, and let me go and turn back on my image planes. Let's see. So like at the end of the car, like right here, it's actually relatively flat, and I noticed on my geometry that I have this edge that still kind of goes up like that. So what I'm going to do is simply locate where, press 5. Okay, so right here is where it should go down. I'm going to click this edge. So in my perspective, you could see I have this edge selected. I'll hold shift to double click that guy, and I'm going to go to hold shift, right mouse click and hold, edit edge flow. I'll click on this edge right here. I'll hold shift, double click this guy, press W. I'll hold V and I'll snap it down. Let's see here. Better yet, I'll just make it flat like that. Then I'll hold shift, select that face, I'll hold shift, double click there, and then I'll move this guy down like that. And all of these faces here in my side view, I'll just move them up like here. I'll select that edge, bring it up so that there's like a really nice smooth transition. There, double click here. And erase that edge. I'll edit edge flow on this guy. And let's see. I think that edge is really important. So I'm kind of like deviating from everything else. I just want to make sure that I can edit edge flow all the way back. Now that's a pretty significant edge here, so I'll hold control and edit edge flow. And I'll click on this guy and follow it all the way back. Okay, so it's a much smoother top of our car, of the rear fender, rear quarter panel. And right at this point here is where we have the where the hood begins, the top part of the, not hood, but the, I don't know, the roof of the car. Okay, so that being said, I think now is a good time to take a little bit of a break, and we'll turn this into part 3, where I start to extrude in this section here and do that right there. Okay, so I'll see you guys in part 3.